Hello, how are you? My name's Anthony Gray, and welcome to yet another episode of Grayscale. There's been a lot of talk from people who follow me that about the glycerin in the shampoo, how much to use, how much not to use, and all of that. And it sparks interest, and it should. It sparked my interest when I started using it first. But for those of you who do not have it, who use water for acrylic paint, well, I'm gonna do a painting today, and all I'm gonna use is this glass of water for the medium. Be careful, water does break down the binding of the acrylic paint. All right, it will turn it into watercolor, so be very careful. It does take a little practice, even when you mix it with water, okay. And yes, you can actually use acrylic like watercolor. All right. So with all that fun stuff said, also when you use water, the acrylic paint will tend to streak a bit. So you just be careful. You may have to put on layers and layers or whatever. All depends. Okay. I'm going to use a number 12, almost like a very thick round brush. Okay, and we're going to do the skies. All right, so let's get some skies going. I'm going to wet my little brush here. And actually, I'm going to still be kind of wet on wet-ish with the method. I'm going to take my typical brush you guys usually see me put the glycerin in. I'm gonna do it this way first. All right, I'll just wet the canvas a little bit here, just like that. Just the top part. I don't really need anything else special or whatever. Just the top part. Just wet it up a little bit here. Okay. Okay, just like that. It's only water. It's okay. All right, let's get into my. This is almost like a bluish gray. So I'm gonna dip it in, and now remember, this is already wet, as you can see by the drips. Okay, and I'm gonna just take it just like that. Now I'm using the side. Okay, I'm using the side of the brush. As you can see, it has a little, when you use the side, it's a little thick on top, but it's got that little fadey stuff happening up there on the bottom. And that's basically all I'm doing. And I'm gonna use, like I say, a little bit of this paint, or I'm using the paint just to, I'm gonna darken bits of it up here, just like that. Okay, just a little bit here and there, and you see what the water's doing, because it also depends on the how wet it is. Okay, and I'll bring some of that down there like that, fade it around, stuff like that. Okay, I'll bring some of that down in here. In between here can be the play on clouds and whatnot, up to you. But as you can see how streaky it gets, but it starts to fill out as you leave it alone. So don't keep picking it apart. Okay, just like that. All right, I'm gonna rinse off my brush real quick here. And I'm going to get my towel, wipe it off a little bit. Now, as I've just did that, I'm gonna get into a little bit of titanium white. And I'm gonna put a little bit of that same blue into the titanium white. I'm gonna move it around here to another part of my little palette. All right, a little dot of blue into the white. And I'll just scrumble some of that cloud play into that. I'm turning the brush around a little bit. Okay, and all I'm gonna do, I'm getting some more white. And I'm getting a little touch of the blue, put it right in there. So I don't totally want the clouds totally white. I don't have to add any water to this. Water's still on the board. Okay, and I can just be a little more exact with this round brush, be truthful to you. So just like that. And I'll put some right over the top there. I'll streak some of this here down in there. Remember, the bottom of the brush doesn't have any paint on it, so it's giving me that kind of faded look down there. Okay. Now some of that color, that dark color came into the clouds a little bit, but that's okay. Don't worry about all of that. Getting some more titanium white. Get another touch of that they call it ocean blue. It's blue, but it's a little gray. Okay. Getting some more titanium white, and I'll just yet scrumble some more cloud play in there, just like that. Get this solid in here. I'll push some of that up, just like that. Blend it right in certain spots. Okay. And that's all I'm doing, is getting a mix of this kind of really light grayish color. Now I can add some bottom to this. I'm getting some water right now, putting it on my brush, getting some white, mixing it in with the water, a little dot of the blue, just a slight dot of this blue, really, just to tint that white. Okay, as you can, as you can pretty much see. And I'm using nothing but the acrylic paint. It's titanium white in that steel bluish color, just like so. Now I got some rocks, cliffs, or whatever you want to call it, over here just below. Okay, and doing the clouds this way, I'm gonna just scrumble on some of this at the top here. As you can plainly see, I'm just twirling it around. The paint's still wet, still moving around. Okay, now I'm gonna get a little bit of water, just a little bit. I'm gonna add some of the water in here just to move the paint around a little bit more. Now remember, when you add more water like this, it starts to streak, but it opens up, spreads out, flattens out. Okay, is what I'm basically trying to say. Okay, just like that. Still fairly wet. Okay, all right. Clean off the brush really good here. Wipe it off. Still using the round brush. And I'm gonna continue to use the round brush, okay? All right. Let's go right into straight titanium white. And I'm not using too much, just basically on the tip. Can you guys see that? You guys can see that pretty good. Just a tip. All right, we'll zoom in for a second. And let's go from right here, right there. Okay, let's add some pure white to this, like this. Let's tap it in there, just like that. Now, how am I tapping this in? Well, hold on, there. How am I tapping this stuff in here? Well, what I'm doing, I'm getting some more white, is that because it's on the tip, when I put it on there, I'm making sure the plain part also touches along with the paint, which gives me an instant fade, okay, of color. So pretty flat, like right up here, pretty flat. I'm just patting it in right now. I mean, I don't have to pat, I can just scrumble it in also, just like that. And maybe a little trail there, just like that. I don't have to add too much to it. Okay, you just want little peaks of highlight here and there. I could put one right in here, just like this. Just create your own highlight, just like that. And I can just lightly scrumble the rest right into that blue, that dark blue color in there. See that? Just like that, and just scrumble it away. Doesn't have to necessarily meet. I'll get the rest of the paint out. I'll just scrumble some more up there like that. Now when I scrumble and put it in front of this other cloud, that one's now further back. You see how that works? And that's all I'm doing, is scrumbling it away. Nothing but pure titanium white. Okay, very simple cloud color scheme right now. So I'm just adding bits of highlight to this fella. Put one right here, just like this. Bring it down, just like that. Shape the cloud a little bit. Bring some of that down, like that, and we'll thin the rest out right above, like that. Pat it in, just scrumble. See the little scrumble motion that I'm doing? Now, in the scrumbling, I just put this cloud's in front of this one. Yet this cloud is in front of that one. That one's in the back chilling out. That one's more in the front. All right. Just like that. Scumble some more. And we're going to keep on going just like that. So we got some pretty intimidating looking clouds here. I'm getting back into my white paint. Okay. Let's bring it down towards over here. Let's bring it down a little bit more on this side. Okay. I might want a little more body here. So I'll just, now check it out what I'm doing now. The same kind of approach I did with the ones on the top, I'm doing it right here on the side. Okay. And I'll just lightly just scrumble the rest in there. Just let it travel on. Just like that. I'll put it down here. Let the tooth of the paper do the work for you. Just like that. Just rub it on in there. Rub it away. Bring some down there. Just like so. Okay. The whiter you get it, the more in front it will appear. Okay, we can put some more of that bright right up in there and have it come downward like that. And just like that, little touches here and there. It's like so. Let's do this one here. Let's put some, tap in some puffy stuff right in there. And we'll bring some of that down like that. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to scramble the rest there. Just like so. So we got a little stuff popping underneath. But look at this. Without even trying, you already got distance between that cloud there. Okay, I want to add a little bit of distance between the other one. This guy right in here. Right in here, right here, this fella. Give him a little bit of a push him up, push, come down like that, and fade him away, just like that. Nothing but water and paint. And I'm just scrumbling away. Just like that. And then I would just twirl some paint and go up this way, because I just now put another layer back there. That little lonely guy back there. You see all sorts of details and all sorts of fun you can have with this. And remember, once this paint dries, it sets into the paint or the color that precedes it, or into the board itself. You follow me? Let's give him a little cute little dot right there, and then leave that alone. Then we'll bulk up this guy right here, just like that, and then we'll circle him around like that. Leave him alone. We'll put one a little something right here, just like that, and then we'll put one in the back of him right there, like this, and we'll fade him out. Now we go back to this guy, fade him out a little bit. Go to this guy, have him travel, scrubble him out just like that. Just like that. All right. Oh, remember him? We'll do the same thing for this guy. There. Just like that. Just keep it moving. Okay. Let's move on to the side a little bit. Actually, we're going to put let's bring this one down a little bit. Let's make him a little closer. Right into the mountain, just like that. Make him a little interesting. Little pockets of color there. Or lack of color. White is actually the absence of color, if you want to be technical. There. We'll pan all of this back once I'm done. It doesn't take too long to do. Okay. The more you do this, maybe this is the way you prefer your clouds. And you know you don't have to just use white. I mean, you can do sunsets and sunrises the same way. Okay. Just because you see me doing titanium white and a light blue, you can do magenta, orange, whatever, you know, for your clouds. Make an interesting sunset, sunrise, whatever you feel you need. Okay. All right. There you go. Much like that. Now let's pan back. Let's see what we got. Look, let's see what it's looking like. There. Okay, we're looking a little bit like that for right now. Okay. I'm taking a little bit more white, and we're gonna do a slight touch up here, just like that. Now I'm just patting, because I want certain parts of this guy just to give me some more white. And just only on the tip, tip, here, right there, that much. Only on the tip, and I'm just doing the tapping. The outside edge is what you're looking for, and as you tap more and more it disappears. Just like that, it just fades away. No matter where you turn the brush, it just starts fading away. You just scrumble in the rest. I just want a little more oomph right up in there. But as you can see, you got all sorts of interesting patterns happening and going on, and all sorts of things going, you know, just operating there. Now, I'm rinsing off the brush. Just blot a little bit of this out. You can also, if you want, up to you, like say some of this gray or this bluish color here, if you want to strengthen a little bit of that in certain spots, okay, you can also do that. See, this is now you're going back over the color. Okay, just in certain spots, kind of. And you can tap it in, you know, wait for some of it to wear off the brush. Don't get rid of all the nuances, and that you can get rid of the hard edge by lightly going into the cloud. Okay, I can take off some of that paint off my brush, and I can just scrumble some of the color. All I am is darkening that cloud a little bit. And I can go back over that with white if I choose to. By getting an even smaller amount of white paint, it mixes in, and you can kind of open that back up again. Just pat it, and you bring your cloud color back. Just like that, and just pat. Patting once, it gives you a softer edge. Okay, and it brings your cloud back a little bit there. See that? So nothing really gets lost. You follow me? Do not panic. Nothing gets entirely lost. It's just certain parts of the cloud I want a little stronger than others, so I'll just use the flat color itself, and plus it also brings out that cloud a little bit more. So you may tend to spend a little more time on the clouds, and you should, to make it look as dynamic as you would like. You know, like I say, if I don't want to get rid of some of that action back there, I'll just tap in, gradually tap in some of that color. Okay, just like that, just strengthen in that top a little bit. The light is giving you that little sheen, that little shine there. Now I got most of the paint off. I'm just going to scrumble in very lightly. Just scrumble in some of that color, mix it in with a little bit of that background color, kind of gently fade some of that in there. Just like that. Cool. Don't be put off by this. That's just the tape. Okay. But I don't think I need really too much more. Up top, if it's pretty solid, we're pretty good. Much, you know, good that way. You can take. Let's do this too. If I want to add a little bit of a cloud bottom over here, in some of these, I'll just lightly scrubble in some of that color, just up in here, and I'll just scrumble this color. Just keep on scrumbling. It'll wear off the brush. Now, as I'm doing this, obviously it looks as, you know, kind of the rough, ugly stage, and that's fine. Put some of that in here. Just scramble. I'm going to get a little bit of water. I want a damp brush. Now I'm wiping off some of that water. I can pat some of that away. See how you can just pat some of this color away? Okay. So we're just patting that color away. All this in here, that can come right out. Just like that. Scramble it right away. And you can add some of that in here. Just like that. Move it around like a watercolor. Remember, it spreads around, so be careful. Okay, and I just tap. Now I'm gonna dry some of this brush, and we start to just pat it in there, just like that. Be real gentle with it. Just tapping it away. Turn the brush around. Just fade it away. This guy here, same thing, just kind of, cause I still wanted a bottom in there. I'm gonna get rid of some of that hard edge though. Almost like coloring. We'll get rid of some of this too. Just like that. Get rid of some of that. There. Now I'm gonna keep some of that. I'll get rid of some of this ridge. Just a little bit of that. Get rid of some of that. Narrow it down a little bit like that. Okay, just like so. All right. Okay. Now that I've got that done, let's go back a little bit. Okay. It's not as rough as you think it is. Trust me. Because now we're going to go into the little cliffy, mountainy type of part there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue using this blue. All right. Now I'm going to use the blue, but I'm going to add a little orange to this blue. It's going to gray it out. So it gives me a weird, very odd looking, almost a brownish gray. Why am I using this color to do this with the hill back there? Well, it'll kind of, one, put it right into the distance of the cloud. Now I'm getting a little bit of water, and I'm putting the water into the paint. Loosening up the paint. Now this is for people who don't have the glycerin and whatnot. Okay, you still want to kind of achieve a sense of that look. All right. Okay, are you guys ready? Same round brush. I'm not using a flat brush or anything. And the top edge is kind of where the important part. I want my little mountain, little kind of craggy looking like this. Okay, it's no gentle slopes or anything. Go right into the blue a little bit. You're gonna have to make your mountain a little taller, especially if you sketched out the mountain a little bit. Okay, and I did. That's why I kind of know where I'm going with it. But that top edge, you really want to be dominant. All right. Let's move in a little, like that, and we'll bring it this way. Okay, there's a bush that's right there. That's why I didn't continue on with it. And then here, this is going to be interesting too. The rest of the mountain, I'll get some water, and I'll add interesting little tones and colors and shapes to this as I'm getting the rest of the solid paint. I'm going to bring some of this down. But watch what I'm going to do here. Watch this. I'm going to get some water now. Okay. I'm going to get some water, and I'm going to just come right down with it like this. Why am I doing this? You can get interesting little patterns and shapes of the rock doing it this way. Okay. Don't get borrowing some of this paint up in here. And I'm gonna just travel it on down, get little interesting streaky patterns going with this. I'm just getting more water, just like that. Bring some of that down, bring some of that color down there like that. And you can, you know, pattern this guy any way you want, really. Bring some down like this, travel it. So you can actually form your mountain like so. Just like that. Okay. Now, let's do a little bit of this. I'm just using water, just like this, right down in here. Just scramble some of that. Don't be scared of kind of putting your brush through its paces. I'm just loosening up the paint here, just around in here. Okay, something like that. Let's put this brush away for 1 second. Okay, we'll take this guy, a little 1-inch brush. All right, and we'll go, check this out, right from the bottom. Rinse it off enough for every pass, if you would like to. I'm just bringing some of that upward, just like that. And then I'll just lightly blend some of that, just like this. Just blend it a little. Blend it up a little bit, like so. Don't worry about all that. That is not going to be around anyway. But I'm just fading it just a wee bit. Okay, I'll stick with the flat brush. This is a 3/4 inch flat wash brush. Okay, it's meant to hold a lot of fluid and stuff. It's thick. All right. Okay, so we did a little bit of that. Cool, right? We're gonna get some orange, more orange. I'm gonna put a little bit of this orange into that dark mix, and a slight bit of white into the dark mix, just like that. So I got more orange and white into that darkened mix. Okay. Now I can approach this a couple different ways too, but I guess I'll use the brush. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the side of the brush, almost like a palette knife. You follow me? And we'll play around with some highlights in there. Just just like that. Very gentle, very gentle. And right where you think there's some peaks at, that's where you add. I'm turning the brush over a little bit. They all don't have to go like downward or whatever. Just like that. One comes down. Just like so. Now you get what I'm doing now, right? I'm just using the side of the brush. It'll pick up some stuff, and it won't pick up some stuff. Okay. Just like so. Up around in here a little bit. Just like scrumbling some patterns. Some go, like I say, go straight down. Okay. Still using the same color. Just like that. And I'm scrubbing just some peaks here and there. Get a little bit stronger on the top there. Up here on the top. Kind of strengthen that I know the sun's going to hit it a little bit. Just on the top. Just like so. Just like that. Don't worry about that down there. Don't worry about that at all. I'm just cleaning off the brush. Make sure you clean your brush pretty good. Once again, just tap a little bit. I got water on the brush, it's okay. I'm just tapping. One is loosening the paint while I'm tapping like that, because you know what comes next. And you just lightly take it and just go up with it. Just like that. Go on up with it. And once again. Now you guys see some of this that's been beaten away from the undercolor. That's fine. That's okay. That's all right. Don't worry about all of that. Please do not fret. As a matter of fact, watch, I'll help you out here. With the same flat brush, I'm getting a tiny bit of white, tiny bit of blue. Okay. A tiny bit of water. Okay. And we'll come around in here. We'll just like tap in a bit up in here like that. Just like some light stuff up in here. Same flat brush, just like this. Come on down with it. And I'll just twirl it around a little. We'll get some quick misty stuff going on down in there. See how you can easily hide all of that? I'm just twirling it, twirling that wet paint. That white still opaque. It might be watered down, but as you can see, it covers up a whole variety of ills. Okay, and that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just fogging it up a little bit. And I'm just wearing some of that edge away, just like that. Give it a little fade, just like that. Let's get some peaks of certain stuff in there. Just tapping. Just tap, 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 tap. See that? Free. And then you just put it in there. We'll do it again. Corner of the brush. Corner of the brush, just like that. Tap in some color. Just like this. And maybe a little bit up there going into the bush. Just a little bit. Just like that. Just tap it away. After you tap it away, circular motion, smooth it all out. Start from the bottom. Okay. Then a couple hairs. A couple hairs is all you need. And twirl it around, twirl it around. Stay in one spot for a little bit. It softens up everything. Just like that. Not all of it has to be totally covered, but just like that. All right. You see how the color sets in there? Okay. Pretty neat, yes. Nothing but water and paint. That's it. Okay. Let's get a little more titanium white. We're going to get more titanium white into that orangey mix there. I'm not putting it all in, and I highly doubt I'm going to use any water with this. Get the paint really stiff. It's really, you can really tell there's no water in it. Okay, something a little bit like that. Still the orange, it's the orange in the rock mixture there. And we'll just tap in some highlights. Just a little bit here and there. You don't need too much. Okay. Particularly around the top rim there. All up in there. I know I'm pretty quiet here, but I'm just tapping in a few bits of color, usually around the top. Put some around in here, coming down. Not really too much. some of these peaks come out a little more than others. And I'll drag some of that down like that. Get it kind of high on the ridge and pull some of that down. Like that. And I'll leave the rest alone. It doesn't need any more than that. That's fine. Now, once again, I will emphasize this is nothing but water and acrylic paint. Okay. And also, using water with acrylic paint, it dries ridiculously fast, as you would probably well know. Okay. All right. Now that we've established the clouds, we established these cliffs back here, which are still subdued. They're not really in your face. They're just, you know, hanging around back there, chilling out. Okay. It's kind of an overcast sky. All right. And once again, like I've mentioned before, you don't have to necessarily worry about all of this because this is all going to be covered. Okay. So don't worry about that. Okay. Don't fret. Don't panic. We'll start with the groundwork here. I still want it to be kind of pastoral. Let's raise it up a little bit, the camera. There we go. Okay. We're at perfect vantage point here. All right. Let's go with a little, I kind of like that blue gray. So I'm using the blue gray. I'm using a little bit of the orange in that blue gray. Give it a nice little foundation. I kind of like this color. I'm mixing it in orange and this this bluish gray mix. I'm getting a little water, putting it into the blue orangish mix. I kind of like it. It's if you brighten this up, this will make a good Midwestern scene actually. If I continue with this route, I'll just maybe keeping bare stone or something like that. Let's establish right around in here. Just something like that. And it kind of goes around, it peaks and all up in here. Okay. And basically all I'm doing is filling it in. I'm getting rid of the white. All right. Just like that. Just nothing special. Just blocking all of that in. Okay. I'm using up what dark color I do have here. And what I don't have left, because this is just me blocking in color. Then I'll just start fading. Using the color that's already on the. Now you can also build up different textures of topography of land where you want certain things to be, up to you. But like I say, I'm just generally blocking all this stuff in with just dark color. Borrowing some of this color from up here, and I'm just bringing it down here. That's all I'm doing is blocking in color. Just like that. There. A very odd natural mix of color here. All right. And that's about really all I kind of need. This would make a very interesting looking rough rock-like surface. If I wanted to put cactus in there or something like that, this would be the kind of ground you're looking for, and all you would do really is just lighten it up. I'll still take some of this orange. Take a little bit of the orange, a little bit of that blue into the orange, a little bit, gray it up a little bit. I'll brighten it up there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to this, just to kind of brighten that up a little bit. So I got orange, that grayish blue, and a little bit of yellow. Okay, use the side of the brush. And like I say, if I wanted to add some kind of weird typography type of thing going, and well, it kind of goes this way like this. And I'm just adding a little bit of that using the side of the brush, scrumbling. It's fading in to the dark color I got there. And the reason why I'm scrumbling it like this is because I don't want to have no set. I don't want to look like brush strokes. So you scrumble it in and rough it up a little bit. Okay, and you will build on this just like you would build on a. I'm getting some more of the yellow. I'm getting some more of the orange, and just a touch of the blue. Put it right in there. A little more yellow. A little more yellow. I'm making quite a nice batch of this. Okay, just like so. This might appear a little lighter, which is fine also, because I'm going a different route than what I originally wanted. Just like that. So I can bring this actually right down, just like that, and just bring it right down. Not such a sharp, blatant. Put some right here, a little closer to it. Let's make a little hill right there. And what I'm doing really is getting the bulk of the color up front, but you fade it out in the back there, like that. Instantly building this stuff up. Okay, I wasn't planning on doing anything not like this anyway. I'm going a totally different route. Why? I don't know, it's just what my mind's eye seen. This is not what I planned. Let's get a little titanium white. And a little bit of yellow in that white. Now, once again, side of the brush. Alrighty. We're gonna just kind of touch up a little bit of highlight in certain spots, and the highlights are not smooth, just like that. And then you leave it be. Get it stronger where it needs to be, which is usually toward the edge. All right. Okay. Now, same thing here, just maybe a touch. Just like that, and a little bit. A little bit of that. Now, as you see, it didn't highlight that back there, and that's on purpose. Now you got another plain little sense of depth back there. Okay, but yeah, stuff like that. Okay, now maybe, just maybe, I'm just cleaning off my brush really good here. Now you need something a little darker in there. Okay, now remember, we're working with water. I'm gonna get a little bit of cad red. I got some cad red here. I'm going back into my little steely blue color because I want to get a nice deep maroon. Now what's happening with this steely gray color is I'm getting a very attractive maroon. That's not what I want. Therefore, I must bust out with the secret weapon. And you guys know what it is. Phthalo blue, just a little dot. Not much. Phthalo blue, just, I don't need too much of the phthalo blue here. Okay. Now, pretty deep color here, which would appear to be black. You follow me? Now, I've got this color where we're going to kind of deepen some of this right from the bottom first, though, because you have to do it kind of in reverse. I got it. The bottom is pretty stark there. Okay. And I'll put some of this right here, right on the edge, carefully, right up in here. It's got to be pretty deep there. Nice little outline of some stuff right up in here too. And we're gonna fade some of this. We're gonna, well, okay, fade a lot of this. You gotta get pretty dark, travel it up a little bit. We're gonna, like I say, in reverse. Okay. Especially down in here. It gets pretty dark here where the bush area is. Where I'm gonna put the bush at. Obviously quite dark. Like so. Alright. Alright. I'm cleaning off the brush. It's gonna be scrumble time. And I'm not gonna use the same brush. I'll use a smaller brush for this part. Because we don't need to really scrumble such a large area. So pardon my head just a little bit. And we'll use this round brush. The stiff-haired guy. Okay. And in between where I'm gonna need a little bit of water, just a little bit. I need a damp brush, not necessarily a really hard one. I'll just tap it in a little bit. It's still a little damp. Just like that. I'll see, I can use some of that color down in there, and I'll just scrumble in some of that dark. Gently bring it outward. All right. And I'm just bringing some of it, I'm just fading some of this dark color into that brown that we've created. Just like that. Gently, gently going in between the line of where you separated everything. And you just want to carefully blend it outward. I don't have to cover every single thing. Now when it's kind of dry like that, I'm dipping into my water, getting most of the water out. And it's still going to pick up a little bit of that water. You just have to be careful now. Because you can just like literally scrub. There we go. I'm just borrowing some of that paint. Borrowing a little bit of that dark paint, and just see, I can borrow some of this paint and I can bring it into here just like that, and you just scrumble. See, I can smooth out some of that really overly stark color, smooth it out a little bit right in there, and you can still scrumble. And lighten up the pressure a little bit. You know, you ease up on that pressure. Same thing here. Just ease up on the pressure a little bit. And bring some of that up. Just like that. Like I say, you don't need to put it everywhere. And I don't have to. I can trail some around. So I'm just really having a lot of fun with this. bring some of that, get some of that, and borrow some and bring it over here a little bit. Not too much. Just like that. Now, did I end up making a desert scene that I didn't intend to, but we'll work with it. Sometimes that happens. To be honest with you, sometimes it happens. Okay, let's put the round brush away. Let's play with this bush actually. Let's get another. I should have just stayed with the. Actually, I got the same type of stiff hair. We're gonna move over a little bit. We're gonna darken this bush. I'm gonna still keep the bush there. I don't have enough. I'm gonna make enough though. I'm going into my cad red, going into that deep maroon there. I get a little bit of green in there too. Okay, and believe it or not, I'm gonna slap some orange in there, kind of gray it out. There we go. And that turns instantly a deep brown. I really don't want it that brown. I want it kind of dark. So I'm getting a little bit of phthalo blue here. So I'm gonna put the phthalo blue right into that brown mix I just laid out there. Very little water for this. I want the paint to be relatively thick, heavy for this. I use thick body paints on average. Now, right from the bottom here, right in here, nothing but dark. We're gonna work on the highlights with this guy. Okay. But as I'm here on the bottom is in the middle is just straight dark, all up in here. It gets real interesting once we go up above. All this is pretty dark. You're not gonna see too much of nothing here. But as we get to the edge, okay. See, we're getting pretty close here. Once you get to the top where the bush is, this is where you get your interesting little patterns. I'll use the front of the brush and I'll tap a few, just like that. So make it look like a bush. Go into your painting a little bit. All right, just like that. If it has to grow, it has to grow. But make it grow a little bit there. Just like that. See, now you got a bush. Instant big bush. It goes right into the painting there. All right. See how everything just kind of fills up a little? Okay. I still got some of this dark here and there. So we're going to tap in some cute little bushes. Oh, we'll put some like wild bushes right up in there like that. Maybe one right about here. All you need is a little dark. Okay. Let's put one thin here. Have them grow out a little bit here. And thin there like that. Just like that. Might even have something just like this, right here in the foreground, direct foreground, right there. So we got a little something going on in here, and give them some interesting kind of patterns toward the edge. So I'm just popping in some interesting whatever's in there. Okay. As I'm using the rest of this stuff, and I am, we're gonna go right here. I'm gonna use the side of the brush. Okay. We'll pop in some interesting little doodads right up in here like this. Way back here. Just like that. I'll have it travel a little bit downward. Something like this. So we got something coming around right here. Maybe a little something right up around in there too. Something around in that area right there. I'm not really too fine with it being there. Okay. Right up around there, I don't really kind of want nothing there. And I can get rid of that too. I'm just rinsing off the brush real good. It's a good thing about acrylic paint. make some of that disappear. Just like that. Just like so. Make it disappear. Make it go away. There. That spot right there, watch this. That little spot right there, and we can reclaim that. There we go. See how that can be reclaimed that fast? Okay. Don't worry. Hold on. Get a little bit of white. Just like that. There. There we go. There. See how that comes back? And when it dries, it'll look like it was just never there. Okay. Let's go on with some highlights, shall we? We'll play with the highlights since we'll deal with some green. I'm gonna use the same stiff bristle brush. Okay. And I'm gonna take the same stiff bristled brush. I got green on the edge. I guess we'll bring it in a little bit. Let's go down here. Let's go right around in here, in this area. Okay. And we'll play. We'll give it a little push. Boom. Just like that. A little wild bush there. Just like so. And we'll play a little bit more. Okay. So we're toward the edge of the bush. Of course, you don't see too much of the green, but that's okay. We'll work it out. We'll put some right up in there like that. And keep it fairly dark down below. But like I say, it's fairly dark anyway. You guys don't barely see anything, but you will. We'll get a little bit of yellow. I'm tapping in the yellow. Did not take the green off. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me just pull in a different direction. And we'll do it this way. And we'll just gently. Now when you do the highlights, you want to be kind of gentle with it. Okay. Just like that. And just give it a little push. I can turn the brush around. It gives interesting little patterns. Just like so. See that? And you turn. Don't be afraid to turn the brush. And we'll tap in some of that down in there, make some of that disappear. Okay. All right. Just like that. And I'll just lightly kind of fade some of that in there like that. Okay. Now, we'll keep everything there. Everything's still there. Just tapping in some more, a little more yellow. And I'll give it a couple of taps right in here too. Keep them kind of airy looking. Don't want to get rid of too much of your dark, right? Just like that. Okay. A little bit in here. Just like that. These guys up here, I'll flatten out the brush. And basically with the tip, I don't have to really be too, because I can keep that dark on the bottom. All right, and we'll highlight some of those too when I get to it. And this guy out here in the back, just a couple of playful little taps back there, and that's all it takes for that guy. Okay, just off camera here, that little guy right there, this fella. A couple of little playful taps, like so. Okay, let's clean off this green here. We're going to tap in a little bit of red, and with the same playful little enthusiasm. All right. Technically, you should really wet the red up a little bit. Let's go right up in here. A couple of taps like that. Okay. Got some wild berries happening. Lightly tap, light. Emphasis on light. Put some of that red in that dark area too. Just lightly. Put some right up in here too. Just like that. Around in the ground here. Put a couple here. A little bit there. Not really. You don't have to really put many of them way over there. Let them chill out back there with their no bush self. No berries. They weren't very fruitful, and they shall never multiply. So they're berryless. They're depressed bushes back there. All right, let's go over here. This guy. All right. Let's put this brush back. We'll get into this fella. I'm going to find me a brush that can kind of do the job. I guess I'll just use this one. This is another one of a round brush. Very stiff-haired, this guy. Very stiff. And when you get with a brush like this, you would have to kind of fluff it out, flare it out a bit. All right, to get that look of a bush. All right. I mean, I could use actually the Bob Ross brush and just do it quicker, but many people, I mean, I think a great few of you probably got one of his brushes, but if you use something like this guy here, okay, and you take it, we'll go with actually the rest of this. Well, not really. I'll use this phthalo green here. Now, you figure out where the light source is and everything. We already know where the light source is. Now remember, you want to really accentuate the edge of the bush. You're not getting rid of a lot of dark, especially with this phthalo green. All of this is really just greening up what's already there. That's why the root shape is so important. All I'm doing really is just putting a little bit green up in here. After the green dries, it's going to settle right back into that deep brown, so you're not really missing nothing. Trust me. Now you go into the highlights. I'm just tapping in yellow. I'm going to get a little bit of titanium white to put into this to strengthen the yellow green. Okay, it won't be necessarily white. I'm using more yellow than the white, but the opaqueness needs to stand out very lightly. All right, let's go this way. Very lightly, light. And I'm emphasizing light. Now, we're gonna go around in this direction, and we'll thin it out like that. And we'll do a couple more, just like that. We'll pop one in here going across like this, and we'll thin it out using the edge. Okay, a little bit there. Particularly heavy up here. Give it a little push. I'll give it a little push up there too. But basically, I'm just tapping. I'm twirling the brush around. You always got more color. Okay, but you can see the interesting patterns. Sometimes I'll push this way. I'll push, give you something like that. If you push back the other way, I give you another kind of look. Okay, just like that, like so. But you see the looks it's giving. But you see how some of that heavy paint with a slight push, it just brings a glob of paint out there. Then when it's really dark, lightly, very lightly tap some bush color in there. Go right off the tape, just like that. I don't have to mess with that bush anymore. That's more than enough. Excuse me. Okay. We're narrowing things down here. I'm gonna still use the same brush. I'm just patting it in my hand to open up the bush. You guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, got some red going. This fella, accentuate the dark. More of these in the dark, just a slight touch like that. I'm gonna just put them in the dark, just like this. I don't have to have them in the light. You put a little bit of it out there, but mainly in the dark. All right, because they kind of show out a little bit stronger there. I might put maybe a touch of that stuff up on top, like that. Don't need more than that. That's fine. Okay. All right. Just rinsing off the brush real quick. We're going to draw this out of a tad. Let's draw this out. You guys get to see what it looks like totally for a little bit there. And this is what it looks like so far. I did not plan on this, but this is actually a lesson on, excuse me, one more here. This is actually just a lesson on if you don't have glycerin, this is just water and it's water and acrylic paint. I am going to do something really fast though. Let's go back to our one brush, a one round brush. I like this dark that I do have, and I'm going to turn it into a quick wash for a second. I'm getting some of this dark mix that I have, and I'm just turning it into a really quick wash here, very light. I want some heavier bottoms on the clouds. So this is mainly paint, mainly water, just like this. We'll play around with it a little bit, all up in here. Now remember, it's gonna dry. Okay, just like that out. Just like that, I'll put some up under here like this. Just like this. Okay, I'm just cleaning off my brush because I'm going to soften up that edge. Just a little bit. And I'm just going to tap. I'm going to tap into it there. Just like that, just tap in a little bit. Okay, getting a little bit more of that color. And we'll put a little bit of that darkness in there too, just like that. Oh, a little bit of this in here. Come out here like that a little bit. Almost like watercolor. It will dry, and it give you a little bit of that like the bottom of the clouds really. We'll play with some of that down in here too. Okay. Just all up in here. Just a little bit of darkness in there. Just like that. Oh. Like so. Don't necessarily have to have it all over the place, but just in little key areas. You don't have to necessarily do it. It may not need it for your painting. And remember, this stuff dries. You smooth it out. Okay. Nah. I'm just wiping off a few, just like that. And now I think I'll leave it alone. I mean, I could easily plop a cactus in there if I wanted to, Okay. Yeah, I easily could. I could, pop. Well, I could pop a cactus in there. I really could. It wouldn't be too difficult to just, have one hanging around there. Let's see something. Might as well. Okay. I get some water. Let's see if I can salvage some of this dark paint I got. If not, then I'll make some more. I swear this will be the final part. Honest. I'll get some red. Get a little bit of red. Get a little bit of blue. It gives me a deep maroon. If I put orange in it, it turns this grayish brown. And as I'm looking at it right now, this is not a convincing cactus color. Of course not. So, all right. A little bit of this phthalo blue into this mix. And let's see what kind of red I got left here. A little bit more phthalo blue, darken it up a little bit here. Now, I'm going to put the orange in there. It'll kind of really give it a deeper green. And now I'll put the rest of the phthalo in there. I need a dark color. Okay. Now, here we go. We'll pop a cactus, right about around in here like this. And I'm going to just touch. It gives you the little knobby-ish kind of, obviously you make it a little solid in there, just like this. Okay, something like so. And we'll have it, well, obviously, we know kind of what a cactus look like. Right? And then we'll go up like this. There. And we'll end him right there. But we'll put a little something coming up here, right above the mountain there, just like that. Okay, just like so. And we'll put a lower one right here. Make him a nice, unusual looking fellow, just like that. And we'll keep going up with him. Big sororo cactus. Why not? Why not? Put him up in there like this high. Now, we'll give him a thicker one right here. And we'll put him way up like that. Okay, and we'll kind of give him some little knobbies there, make it look like little cactus needles from a little ways off there. Okay. Just like so. So he's out there looking like a cactus. I'm going to take, for the final bit for this guy, I'm going to put this 1/2 inch brush back. I'm going to get, give me a little something with some, here, this flat brush ought to do it. I'm going to go right into the, if I got any yellow left that can be called yellow, and just a tiny bit of titanium white. I'm adding a little bit of green in there too. Okay, it's kind of thick. Yes, it's all I'm using right there. You should be able to see them. Get my hand out of the way. You see, right there, right there. Okay, that's the edge of the brush. All right, and a little press. You don't need to do the whole thing. Okay, just like that. Just on the edge. You can play around a little more with the bulk of the body right here. just like that. And we'll give it a little bit right in here, just like that. I think we're pretty good here, just like that. I don't think I need to really add any more to this. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. All right. Now, if you look, the rule of thirds still very much apply. Nothing's centered, not even that fella. Nobody's centered anywhere. Okay. I did not intend for it to be a kind of a desert type of scene, but it ended up being a desert type of scene. You know, yeah, it's all good. It's cool. What I can do also, now that I just did one part of it, I'm gonna show you this neat little trick here, and then I'm gonna call it a day. One last thing, guys. I'm gonna take water, all water, no glycerin. This darkish color I got. I'm gonna set that mountain back a little bit more. Okay, almost like a watercolor. All right, ready? I'm taking that dark mix that I made this. I watered it down quite a bit. Okay, and we're gonna just kind of bring this whole mountain back a little more, just like this. And all I need is just a light brush of color to do so. As you can see how watery it is. Okay, and I'll do the bulk of the mountain first. It's still got plenty of this dark color, and if it don't, I'll get some more. Just like that. There. Okay. Now, as I'm adding this color, and like I said, it's only a glaze of color. Okay. Going right across the thing, trying to get rid of any streak marks if there should be any, and it more than likely will not be. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to clean off my brush, because you know where the fog is, you're going to have to fade that. So I'm going to, it's a single load, the brush. It's got color on one side, absolutely nothing on the other. Okay. And I am going to lightly, just lightly, we're going to create that little fade of color right in there, just like that. See this? There we go. Just like that, fade that color. So everything still looks kind of natural. All right, and that just sets the mountain back a little bit more. Not only does it set the mountain back more, it brings your fog up. All about atmospheric perspective, and have fun doing it. Well, let us take some water, take some white paint, and my name should be coming across here right about now. Thank you so very much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the journey. I'll throw my name right in here like this. There we go. Okay. And any comments or questions, put them down below. I shall answer them to the best of my ability. I answer them as quick as possible. Any statements, if you'd like to do this painting, I would love to see it. All right. Let's see what the masking, the Scotch tape would do for my border. Not very good. It usually, on paper, the Scotch tape works wonderfully. But sometimes when you have a lot of water, it might seep in a little underneath, but it's not technically it's not too bad. It's still pretty sharp. So, this is an 11 by 14 inch canvas board also. And I don't know if I really introduced all of the colors. I believe I did. Titanium white, phthalo green. This is actually what is called ocean blue, and the orange is actually called pumpkin. And cad red and phthalo blue. That's it. Which made this painting. Okay. Oh, cad yellow. Can't forget the yellow. But that's what made the painting here. You can also add, you know, you could have sprayed rocks, you know, did a little stipple thing with rocks and whatnot. All sorts of little doodaddy things you could have done with this. I'm just taking my finger and I'm getting rid of some of that. And believe it or not, even though it's my finger, it does work. I probably won't do it for the stuff up above here because I think my finger's a little too large for all of that. But it does work. It does get rid of the stuff. Titanium white, like I say, it gets rid of a whole bunch of ills. And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just getting rid of some of this, some of the leaks. And I'm just using my finger to, you know. Would I do this with oil paint? Probably not. Acrylic? Sure. There. Just a little bit of that there. Kind of neatens it up a little bit. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope this helps you out. I love to see your renditions if you do one. Take care of yourself. Love to see your take on this painting. God bless and peace.